So today we're going to have some fun and design a day trading strategy on the Emini S&P using the P1 Strategy Architect. So to begin, I'm just going to go ahead and set my data here, and you can see that I'm using the continuous ES contract. We're going to use a 15-minute bar. We're setting this for 13 months back. We actually want to get a full year's worth of data, and we add 1 month on top of that. And we're setting the time zone to exchange. So that's all we do right here. We're just setting up the data that we're going to use, and then we move on over to the P1 Strategy Architect. And over here you can see we're going to go ahead and use a day trading strategy. The strategy is going to go long and short. We're setting our maximum trade risk for $500. Our maximum trades per day is 2. And we're focusing our intraday session time on when the market is most active. So the first 15-minute bar after the open would be 8:45, and we're going to close it at 14:45. So that's as simple. That's all we need to do. We just set up these basic parameters. The other thing I'll do here is we're going to go ahead and set what we want our search to look like. In other words, what we want this outcome to be. So we're going to focus this on net profit, and we're going to look for a profit factor between 1.5 and 5. Okay, so that's going to be the filter that only allows strategies that give us that type of performance. The minimum trade number we're going to set to 180. We want to have enough trades so that we have some statistical significance. The max drawdown is going to be 6,000. In other words, we're not interested in any strategies that show a maximum intraday drawdown of more than 6,000 and an average trade of at least $100. In other words, we don't want any strategies that have a minimum average trade of less than that. The other thing we're going to do here is we're going to go over to the AI settings, and we're going to set the search iterations for 3. And what that's going to do for us, it's going to do 3 completely separate genetic searches to kind of give us the best chances of getting good results. Okay, so once that's set up, all we do is we click search, and we let the strategy, the P1 Strategy Architect, do its thing. For this next segment, we're going to speed up time just a bit. What we're looking at is a time-lapse version of the P1 Strategy Architect search in action. The chart on the lower left-hand corner represents the progress of this search, and it actually represents the progress of 3 searches, which is what we've told it to do. The lines are stair-stepping upward, which shows better and better results for net profit. What we're searching for is the strategy that gives us the best net profit, along with all the other metrics that we specified in the strategy options. Now that we've completed our search, we get a list of strategies that have met our criteria, and these are displayed in the strategy analysis table just below the chart. As you can see, we've got some really nice looking results. We'll take a look at the first strategy here, which is listed at the top, and as we click on that left-hand corner, that's going to update the chart as well as the selected performance along the right-hand side. And when we look at this right-hand performance chart, what we see is an equity curve as well as a comparison to its benchmark profit. The benchmark profit just represents the buy and hold equivalent if we weren't actually trading for this time period. Now you'll notice along this equity curve line that there's 2 different colors. The yellow represents the in-sample data, or the data that we tested and built the strategy on. The red represents an out-of-sample set. In this case, we selected to use 15% of the overall data, or actually not using 15% of the overall data to create our results. And the reason we do this is to try to avoid curve fitting, or in other words, creating a strategy that only works on the particular data set. Having an out-of-sample correlation or an out-of-sample comparison gives us greater confidence that the strategy that we're developing will work in a real-life setting. And along the top edge here, we see that we have an out-of-sample profit correlation of just over 100%. That's good. Now, as we look at the overall performance of the strategy, we can see the key metrics in this chart. This is very similar to the TradeStation performance reports, but gives us some additional information as well, such as the date of the last equity peak, as well as how many total trading days there have been and how many days between trades. This allows us to kind of tailor a strategy to a particular trading style. In this case, our day trading strategy came out with an overall profit for the 13-month period of $68,775. This compares very favorably against a negative benchmark profit. Our total trade count was 242 with a profit factor of 2.29. The percentage of winning trades was about 43.39% with an average trade net profit of $284.19. Maximum drawdown was about negative 3,475. So overall, this gives us some very nice metrics to start with. We can even look at this with a little bit more detail by clicking the day button here. This gives us an equity comparison per day. And from this, we can tell that our best or most profitable days are Wednesdays and Thursdays. Those give us the highest percentage of winning trades and the highest net profit. So those are the days that we don't want to miss. If we wanted to save this data, we can just click right to file, and then it will save all of the strategies in the strategy analysis table into a CSV file for later analysis. Okay, so once I've done my analysis and chosen a strategy, what I'm going to do is clean things up here a little bit. I'm going to click Clear List. I'm going to go ahead and hit Chart Unclutter here. So all I have is my trading chart. I'm going to go to Studies and Edit Strategy. And I'm going to go ahead and go to the Properties for All. I'm going to go ahead and add some slippage and commission here just to make this a little bit more realistic. Okay, once this is set up, I'm going to click OK. We'll click OK to that. And then I'm going to go ahead and take a look at a TradeStation performance report. Even though this should exactly match what we saw previously, I just like to do a little bit of comparison to make sure that this looks all good to me in terms of where our testing is and where our slippage is and where our commission is. Yeah, it looks like we have a little bit more of a drawdown with that, which is expected. Our performance graph still looks quite nice. And so the final step here is to go ahead and trade this if we want to do that. And I always recommend trading this or trying this out on a sim account first before you trade it live on a real account. But it's very easy to do. We just go to Studies, Edit Strategies. And I'm just going to click the Generate Strategies for Order tab. We're going to automate. And I'm actually going to turn the account confirmation off. And we're on. That's all it takes. So this is just a good example of how we can create a ES day trading strategy from scratch using the P1 Strategy Architect and get it from the concept stage all the way through to the point where it can get traded. Well, that's the end of our P1 Strategy Architect search for now. Please check out our other instructional videos at powerzonetrading.com. Thanks for watching.